Hello everyone, welcome to your live stream. Hi there. Hi. Anyway, today we will be... Well, today we will be indeed. That's because it's broken. That's good. It's broken. Well, that's neat. Why are you broken? Oh, this could be why. There we go. That works. Hi there. Pleasure, pretty good. Well, I'll let you all finish the conversation. I'm just gonna set this up more properly. Go. So, today... This seems focused. Today we'll be doing this. Well, this is the module. I need it to work, and that's all we're gonna do. I have thoughts on the latest vid. What are they? What are your thoughts on the latest vid? Hold on, I need to... The heck is a revanced patcher? Hold on. To move my microphone so I'll be better positioned. Hi, the Turco. Sand next year of my school class. Oh, that's neat. That sounds quite lovely. I do have to say. That does sound quite lovely. Hi, Lycan. Bye for now. You're leaving right away. Well, that was quick. Okay. We have the first wire, which I need to twist. Like so. This seems sufficiently twisted. And then we'll need the second wire. And then what we'll do is we'll use this to try to do the module thing. The stuff, the junk, the thing. Okay, so basically what I got here is like a little thingamabob. It's a motor, that's all we care about. That's because we'll use it basically to test if the module will conduct electricity or not. It's the same module as last time. Actually, I just realized I did not in fact plug in my power supply. Oh, which is already screwed into one of the modules. Well, I guess if we've got one already, might as well unscrew this one. And then we need to plug in the power supply. Give me a second. It's on the other side. There we go. Like this, as such. Beautiful. And the purpose, well, today what I would like to do is, I mentioned, I'll just control this because it is uncontrollable. It fails all the time. Constructing a full other direction from EXO and seems such seems harder to understand than making half others first than using those, unless it relates to time constraints. Well, and if in your opinion you prefer doing it using two half others, why not? Okay. This one is out, now the other one. The reason why I did it using logic keys themselves is I do believe because I wanted to introduce, at least on the very beginning, as few logic gates as possible to show off just how much is possible using them. Because once you abstract away into just larger and larger gates, people sometimes lose track of the fact that they are all made at the very core, you know, using the basic ones. First, I should test out if this works, actually. Which, do I have some kind of battery anywhere? I do have one, but I don't know if it's charging anyway. Yeah, I guess that means no. Anything else? Nope. No more batteries. Well, okay. Okay then. I could just turn on the power supply. We're gonna do 12 volts and 0.4 amperes. Let's see. Do you need more amperage? Do you need a 1? Because I'll be honest with you, I'd rather not give you a 1. Plug it in. Is it wait, does it matter which way I plug it in? Oh, it's spinning. Okay, it most certainly matters, in which case let me just... Why is it plugged in backwards? Why does it only fit back? Oh, who cares? The point is, red is our minus, black is our plus, because it's a bit unpatched. Patching. Can't patch stuff on iPhone. Can you not? Is that really only an Android thing? Black. Right here. Let me just turn the power supply. There's no point in it just cooling itself off all the time. And so here's what we shall do. Plug in this. Sweet. Side of an apple without rooting. Jeez. I'm sorry if I'm not too entertaining right now, by the way. I do apologize. I just don't feel all that energetic. Now if I turn you on, it spins. Which is actually terrible, terrible news, because it should in fact not be spinning. It's blowing quite a lot of air, which at least the component works, but this should not in fact be spinning. But in all fairness and honesty, that could be just because we haven't plugged in the ground. So let's do that. Now I'm gonna plug in the Raspberry Pi. It's gonna be running whatever. Whatever's on it, it's gonna be running that. Once I unplug it. Just remain plugged. Where is my... There they are. There we have my diodes. Where is my diodes? In order to test if the Raspberry Pi is powered, if I'm not mistaken, I should just be able to exactly do this. So this powered, that's good. Which means now we can try to plug in... Plugging in the ground that way will be... Could it perchance because of your diet? It could be, actually. Oh, funny enough, thank you so much for reminding me. I have my lasagna in the... I got some store-bought lasagna. Okay, it's not a good sign that when I plug this in, we got a Windows disconnect sound, because that's usually... not a good sign. Usually means that the Raspberry is crashing. Okay, pretty good all things considered. This is spinning. Plugging in the ground does nothing. That sucks. That really sucks. I think my dad has the exact same screwdriver. Yeah, it's a proper good ones. It's from Black. The screwdriver is red. What are you? Confusing is what it is. Okay, so here's where the problem comes in. This module, it doesn't have a data sheet. The data sheet just doesn't exist. It's just nowhere to be found. Not on the site I bought it from, not on another website I bought it from. There's no name on the board. There is nothing. It's different. I think my dad's all red. Yeah, mine is black apparently. My screwdriver is just. My screwdriver is black. Man, my sense of humor is not good. This is a good question. Why wouldn't you be working? That is ground. Trigger pulse with modulation, then V input, V output. Do I have the... No, I have the output properly. Yes, that's good. So. These on top. Technically does... Oh yeah, because my dad's... No wait, is it? Are you working? I'm trying. It's failing miserably. Because when I turn it on, it's spinning. Which it shouldn't be spinning. It should not be spinning. So now the question remains. How do we make it not spin? Well, let's see if we can short circuit the board first of all, which is a great idea. I'm sorry, I have a question. I have just a question. Are they not just... I'm starting to think that I got scammed and they are just straight connections. But I'm beginning to think I got scammed because this is unreal. I'm looking at the board in depth right now. We could desolder these parts actually to analyze a bit better. Hold on, let me change up the focus. There we go. We could desolder these to kind of pop under the hood, see what's up. Let me just turn on my soldering iron. We're gonna desolder them, just take them out. And then just see what one of the modules looks like. Shit! I dropped my Raspberry Pi. Stay. I'm holding it down with scissors, which is just safe. You're turning it on and it turns on, that's the problem. Exactly. Oh damn it, I dropped a lot more things. Okay. Probably need to pull to the ground. Pull what to the ground though? Actually, you know what? Let's check, because I did not connect the ground to the miners yet. Wait. That does work. Acronymus, you handsome bastards. Wait, fuck, how does that help me? Can I oh shit, is that a good idea? Can I connect the... That doesn't feel safe. Connecting this to the ground, to the Raspberry Pi. It doesn't feel safe. Hold on, let me turn off my soldering iron. YouTube did a misrepresentation component. What are we building anyways? First of all, give me a second, because my lasagna is done. Okay, my lasagna is done. I'm just gonna leave it in the dishwasher. I forgot fucking name. What are we building? Stamp. I don't mean to be that guy, but I cannot actually say on the public live stream because this is super secret patron only stuff. You're gonna have to ask me on the Better Voice channel. We're gonna have to join in and ask me there because I can't say it here. It's a secret, state secret. So that looked like a short circuit. I mean, it kind of was, but you know, those happen. That did kind of look like a short circuit. I will give you that much. But the thing is, why did I turn it on? I need to turn it back off. The thing is, the best. I'm thinking about the best way to test it, but I don't want to burn my Raspberry Pi because then I'll have to use my backup Raspberry Pi. And if I burn my backup Raspberry Pi, then I'll have to use the backup to the backup. If I burn that, I'm just left with the backup to the backup to the backup, and that's not safe. So I don't want to burn it. I'm one of those actually burned, if I'm not mistaken, but whatever. The point is, it doesn't make much sense, you know? Because we could connect it. Actually, maybe it does make sense. No, it might. It might make sense, but I don't like it. Because hear me out. We can do this right here. Then please say it's another hammer. It's a very smart hammer, you know. It's a pretty clever one. Where's my wire, the white one? The cable. It's gone. That's good. Why am I so exhausted? I am out of character, kind of exhausted. I don't like it. What we can do is we can. This is really oxidized. Hold on, you can't see it. This is really oxidized, which makes it kind of mid, as kids these days would say, at conducting electricity. So we'll have to grab a bit later on. There we go. I can do this, which is genius. It's a really bad idea. Then I can plug in the ground into the ground, which is the ground, and I can plug in the PWM. I can take this and I can just tap the current. I'm about to burn my Raspberry Pi. I can tap the current from the Raspberry Pi, which is still flowing, on the PWM to see if it works. Which is a bad idea if I've ever heard one. Okay. So, really bad. There is no way that's how it's meant to be wired. Because if that's how it's meant to be wired, then it would have just been wired that way. Hold on, I have actually another gate. Let me unscrew all of this. Because I have another gate, another component right here, where it's like, it's already soldered on all the things we need. Is the voltage or wattage too high? Hopefully neither. I don't know. Neither should be. Neither of those. Alright. Unplug this. Unplug that. And then if it works, then it works, and that'll be great. Hi there, Cronus. Right, this is you. We keep changing your profile picture so I can never tell. Okay. I have streamer modes enabled so I can only see the first letter, but I'm assuming A is you.
You have the schematic for the circuit board?
Nope. If I had the schematic, this wouldn't be a problem.
Shit.
Fuck. I mean, pissed. I mean, shucks. I mean, fiddlesticks. There we go. The other side.
What I think is the problem is that there's a floating input to the, I think, MOSFET, and that one floats up if there is if nothing pulls it down to ground. So if you put the resistor on it and pull it to the ground, it could work fine, I think.
The only problem is that the pull down doesn't work. Because if I remember correctly, you could do the pull down without the resistor. If you do it without the resistor, it should just turn off all the time on the MOSFET, if I remember correctly. And I've done it multiple occasions. I mean, if it shorts, honestly, if it works by short circuiting, I am fine with that. So that's
Yeah,
it.
but the resistor would be an additional insurance against using it wrong. So that you don't turn it into a smoke machine.
It's fine. Listen, I paid like 50 cents for it. It should be proper craftsmanship. I'm certain it won't just go up in flames. The screws are already crying for mercy. Red to the black wire and black to the blue one, because we just hate it when things make sense here.
Also, I think the screwdriver you're using is because that head too big.
Actually, no, the smaller screwdriver wasn't working. I have a small one right here. I switched to the big one because the smaller one just couldn't do it.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, last stream. Oh, not last stream, but last stream when we did this. Okay, so it's time to... Let's see how many things I'm gonna ruin all at once. My bet right now is that I'll ruin the module and I'll ruin the Raspberry Pi. But if we try hard enough, maybe I'll even ruin the motor. We don't know. Dream big. Never give up. That's because right here what I'm gonna do is clamp both of these together using our white cable like this, which will plug into the ground, and then this one will be our signal, which we're going to connect the red and yellow wires together, and by tapping them, that should turn on the motor. Let's see. It's off, which is good. Now if I tap these two together, okay, that's really bad actually. Okay. If I remove this and turn it on, it spins. It does spin. Nothing is heating up. I'm shocked, honestly. If I did this correctly, then I'm amazing. If I did this incorrectly, then I'm still amazing. Okay, so as far as I'm aware, if I'm not mistaken, me tapping this yellow wire on this right here input should turn it on. It's not spinning. You should be spinning. Please spin. I'm gonna burn the Raspberry. I'm gonna burn it. Okay, well, instead of working with the Raspberry then, let's simulate the Raspberry by using some kind of power supply. Oh geez, if only I have prepared a power supply in advance. You are no longer needed because you are valuable and I don't want to lose you. However, what we could use there is battery. I have one lying around right here, which, if I am not mistaken, in fact, if we plug it in, if I remember correctly, back when I was learning electricity, batteries do in fact provide electricity when charged. So that's if I remember correctly. So we plug it in like this. There we go. And now let's just clamp all these together. This should get hot if I'm short circuiting. MOSFETs and electrical components in general have a habit of getting quite hot when when an unreasonable amount of current is going through it. So if it doesn't get hot, that probably means it's not overheating. It's not, which probably means it's not, like, you know, short circuiting. My logic is flawless. Now plug this in right here.
As long as you don't short circuit the battery itself.
It just hit me that I can totally blow up this battery if I'm not careful. Oh well, happens. Nothing's getting hot, but nothing is working either.
Also, are those 3.5 volt or 5 volt?
This is this battery. It's
The MOSFET.
the MOSFET. I have no clue. I can read you the name of the MOSFET. Want?
I can look it up.
Two. Okay, hold on. Let me just put it on. Looking up. That'll be my Firefox. Yup. This. Okay. They are in fact GA. I think 2356, that's the first one, although my hands are shaking quite a lot. D514. There we go, found the D514, as I think I did. Just give me data sheets. If you want, I can send on Discord. There you go. Now. So this isn't working. I've had a bit of an idea, but it's a pretty bad one, and it would only... It wouldn't solve anything, I mean. Right here when I plug the signal into the battery, that should in fact... Where's my diode? How do I keep disappearing diodes? It's been here a second ago. There it is. Bit of camera. So like there is electricity. Okay, the battery isn't completely charged. So if I turn it on, if I unplug this, the way it's sparking is kind of... I don't know if you can see it, but it is in fact sparking. And that is not filled with confidence.
By the way, it's pretty nice to bypass YouTube chat.
What?
It's nice to not have to use YouTube live chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Make it hand reveal. I've appeared in videos. That's not the diode, that's an LED. Buddy, you won't believe what the D stands for. That's gonna shock you. Light emitting didgeridoo. Everything here appears to be plugged in properly. What if I need to do it backwards? That would be idiotic. But... I'm struggling. I'll be honest, I am struggling. Because the signal, normally... The diode isn't glowing. Oh, normally the diode is glowing. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. That's bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty really bad. Is it just with this setup or is it in general? This diode should have been glowing. It could be the voltage, it could be the current, or it could be bent, actually. Yeah, I just need you for your power, don't mind me. No, it's just not glowing. Ah, fudge, fudge, fudge. Good night, Timon, good night. Huh. All I want to do today is just figure out how to use this module, and it is proving to be a bit more mighty of a task than imagined. The problem is that it's always on. That's the problem. But now the question is... So by default it's on, and then we don't have a way to turn it off. I imagine that, I don't know if you remember, but when we were doing it with a motor... Yeah, when we were doing it with a motor, then us turning the module on was speeding it up. Turning it off was slowing it down. The problem was that we couldn't stop it. So that's a pretty good sign that actually we plugged in the ground to the proper ground. Hi Data, you loved the new video. I'm glad you liked it. I really am glad you liked it. It's quite a pickle. Did I really start a live stream with only one simple module to figure out? That's the entire thing. Just to fail. Finally makes sense. I'm glad. Glad I could help. I really am glad. You convex the parts, but I get it now. I am really glad. I'm glad you do. Shucks and gosh dang it. We could switch it out to another one, because there's possibility I've burned this one. The diodes aren't, the LEDs in this case aren't lighting up. Just destroyed again 2 wires, 1 LED and 1 cell, boom, done. I swear, if I fail at the task of just doing the module, I'm gonna be upset, I'll be honest. The light isn't turning on, so somewhere along the path there's a break. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. Okay, this one looks pretty pristine because there aren't any markings from me just absolutely ravaging it with a screwdriver, which should mean that it's new, which should mean that it's fresh, which should mean that it should be fine. If I just plug in the wires, screw them in. Then take the battery, plug in the green into the ground, red into the signal. You can see red glow right there. That's what the LED should have looked like. So that's good. I should guess set up a resistor a bit. I suppose we can also plug this in right here, and then we can do it using a button. That feels at least a bit smarter, where we plug the ground directly into the ground on the battery. Well, no, actually, wait, no, the ground will have to be separate, yeah. So plug it like this, then we'll be tapping the signal the good old-fashioned way because, well, I don't know. So this will be our signal, which will just be tapping to see what happens because I'm a professional, and then we're gonna plug in the other side on the other side. So blue into the red, no wait, blue into the black, right, blue into the black, black into the red. Okay, first I had to check if I wasn't doing it backwards. The masterman was Austrian. World War II! Mention it to get the free funnies. It's the free joke license. The cable unscrewed. Piss. Shucks, damn it. And a couple of other words I would like to say right now, but I don't want to because this is a family-friendly live stream. How about now? Okay, now you're holding, that's good. Now we need to unscrew this side. Perfect. Teacher, they're fighting. What do you want me to do? I'm drunk. I'm the substitute teacher. I don't even teach here. I just walk in. Sebas, if I had a nickel for every single time someone asked hand reveal on this live stream, I would have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's only been 41 minutes, okay? I've appeared in videos, you've seen my hands, what do you mean? There we go. Screw it! Okay, it's all done. Now we turn it on, it should turn on. However, if we take this, and if we connect the ground to the ground to the ground, then, I don't know, I win the lottery? Magic, witchcraft, sorcery, something. Hopefully, something. The ground to the ground right here. The ground.
How about financial fraud?
About what?
Fraud. Fraud.
Fraud. Oh, I see. That was actually an idea for a stream. Well, the idea was tax avoidance, but there. Now that it looks sufficiently like a bomb, you
It's
need.
basically the same thing.
No. There's a difference between. I know that's what you're referring to, by the way, but I would just like to point out for everyone watching that there's a difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. And the reason why I feel the need to point it out is because one of them is illegal. Now that it looks sufficiently like a bomb, which you always want that, we're gonna turn it on. It's spinning. It should not be spinning. It should not be spinning. That's because the ground is disconnected, isn't it? It should not be spinning! Why are you spinning? You shouldn't be spinning! No! Nah! Not yaha.
I think you connected it to the high voltage.
Okay, so remember how previously plugging in the ground into the power supply ground worked? It doesn't this time. I swear, every single one of these is just different. It's working. Plugging in the ground to the ground. Now you work by default, but I can't even turn you off. That's even worse. That's so much worse, in fact. If I take this, if I plug it right here into the battery, great sentence if I've ever heard one. Make a massive thank for the TikTok AI brain or ice machine making ad. Really inspired me to follow my dreams. Thank you, you're so majestic. I don't pick the ads. Don't blame that on me. I just come here to build bomb. Well, things that look like bombs at least. Okay, what if I take this? I am turning the power supply off and on a bit too quick for comfort. Like, one day I'm gonna get just so shocked. It will be a shocking experience. Okay. I know I keep trying. It didn't work the first time and it's not gonna work the 7th time. Anyway, anyone know what the definition of insanity is? Completely unrelated. You tried turning it off and on again.
I have to look it out in the DSM-5.
No definition of insanity. Can't wait to make it to hibernate for 2 weeks now. He just uploaded a video today. I'm actually gonna hibernate for even more. I am making this for a video. And I can't even get a single module to work. So it's gonna take me a bit. Same thing over and over. Yeah, thank you, Stump. Why won't you just function? Okay, so alright, no, that's fine. That's fun, that's good. I like a challenge, you know. I was honestly worried it would have been too easy. It's fine, chill. So it appears that you can only turn it off using the ground if it's broken. Trying the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Thank you. People finally understand. Finally understand me. Now, why won't you just work? Oh, it's plugged in backwards. Wait, is it? Or is the color convention? No, it's plugged in backwards. That's good. Okay, well, whoops. Glad I noticed. Hope I didn't break anything again for the second time. Oh, piss. Shucks. I mean, fudge. I need to get myself one of those futuristic screwdrivers that has like that you can actually push at the top and then just screw the bottom, and has like the endings that you can just change from the pluses to the hexagons and so on and so forth. You know, one of those screwdrivers of the future. Right, there we go. First one is screwed in. Now stamp the second one. Then black to the red, red to the black. Those kinds, yeah, that's, you know, that kind of a futuristic screwdriver. I consider that to be futuristic, okay? That's science. Science at its peak. Okay, good enough. Stand on. It spins. Lovely. Now, if we take the ground and connect it to the ground, what's gonna happen? Great question. It's still spinning. Can I genuinely just plug it in backwards and nothing's gonna happen? Well, that worked, but that's only because I'm short-circuiting it. Hi there, Theo. It's not putting actually all of the current through. Now it's spinning faster. Now it's slower. Now it's faster. So it's not actually putting all of the current through. It's actually blocking some of it. Make It Fun are coming soon. We already had the Make It Cut Girl. 2 of them. Make It Screwing Fun controversy. Make it about to break the fun. Why wouldn't you just function? Why? The problem is I'm running out of ideas on how to fix this. That's the problem, running out of things to test for. So for example, we take this, if I plug it in, if I connect this to the gate, that speeds up. That also speeds up. A great way to burn the module, by the way. This isn't doing anything. It's quite worrying. Shucks. Make it, if you swallow the whole circuit, the fan will no longer spin. That is true. I might consider. What if PWM just works in reverse? So if I plug it in right now, it's just gonna turn off. The diode is glowing. Okay. But nothing's changing. It's not doing anything. I'm gonna figure this out. Alright. We might need to just ever so slightly reverse engineer the entire circuit. Make it, I think you want to invest a voltmeter for this. I have one. I know not only have a multimeter, I also have a voltmeter as a component in case I want it. I have a. This is just for measuring volts. That's it. So. Didn't use it. How would that help? Well, you want me to measure the voltage output? I guess I can. I don't know if it's charged. Give me a second. Fudge! I did not mean to hit my camera with the full force of my whatever. The problem with my voltmeter is that it's a bit, or multimeter, is that it's a bit too chunky, so you can't actually see it. But it does live. It lives. It breathes. It persists. Now, where are the dongles? Right here. Okay, I've got them dongles. Make it phase review when? I don't know. I've got the dongles. Now it's time for us to, or whatever Doctor Who said, I don't remember. Boop, beep, no wait, this way. Beep, boop. Alright. Plug it in. Okay, so it's 10 volts. It's moving 10 volts. If we plug it in, however, I'm running out of, like, hands. I'm running out of hands. I need to hold it like this. Like I'm eating just Chinese food. It's fine. Chopsticks. There we go. Like this. That's how I need to hold it. And the other ones I'm gonna need to plug in into the... If I get 12 volts actually out of this right now, then this tells us that it is in fact working. It's just only working for 2 volts. Which... wait, hold on. Was it the metal oxide? Was it metal oxide, the MOSFETs, or the what were the other ones called? I don't know. I never bothered with the other ones. There we go. Now it's on. Diode is glowing. Let's see. Still 10. So this changes absolutely nothing if I unplug it. Yeah, still 10. That's terrible. Okay, how about amperes? Shut up. Even though, well, to be fair, I'm the one doing it, so it's fine, I guess. Amperes, let's see. How many? Oh wait, whoops, I plugged them in correctly. There we go. Half an ampere. One ampere. Oh, hold on. Running a fans me when I cuddle people and gives crutches. That is Theo. We're lonely, all right. We here are lonely. Can you not? Can you just not rub it in? And also, when it comes to us being lonely, not rub it in. The point is, when we plug it in, the amperes go from a half to a 1. So what if we instead start at a half? What are you now? Now it's still a half. It is still in fact a half. Okay, so like, make it a single. Yeah, what do you think? Do I seem I have the capacity? All 3 raccoons are single. Exactly. For this day, for a while, make some food and give a well-deserved hug. I may need to go to Germany. I may need to go to Germany. I don't know. We'll see. I'll find the reason. I'll find the reason to go to Germany. But yeah. So this basically gives us half an ampere. Half an ampere if it's if the input is half an ampere, and half an ampere if the input is 1 ampere but it's off, which is kind of, well, if we later on would find a way to subtract that amperage, that would work. But that's not why I bought the module. I bought the module specifically not to deal with this BS. I'm going to Germany in a few weeks. That's nice. Bedridden hell. I remember you mentioned it every now and then. How? Just how? I want to check something, alright? There is a setting on the multimeter that just checks if a wire is live. So basically, if it can connect, then it just beeps. And I'm just curious. Well, that's pretty worrying, isn't it? I don't mean to be that guy. I'm sorry, is this live? It is. It's showing a number. It's live. Why are the 2 sides connected? Why? Why is it conducting electricity if it's connected to nothing? Oh my goodness, no. No. Why? You're connected to nothing. I don't like this at all, one bit. Let me plug in our simulated PWM. No, this dial is not glowing, which means something is off. These measure in parallel, A isn't series. I'm just checking conductivity right now. This is not voltage or amperes. This is just checking if you have a wire, if one piece connects to the other. Hold on. There we go. So, unless I'm wrong, if the modules turned off, all right, disconnected from anything, then this, let me just make sure you can see, this should not be connected. Unless I'm mistaken, which, albeit, maybe. I could just be mistaken. There could be some kind of witchcraft afoot. There could be something something special about this model. Maybe the PWM turns off the inputs. In which case, if I plugged it in with our simulated PWM, then it should turn off. So let us see. Okay, maybe the LED isn't glowing because we didn't actually connect it. Maybe we need to connect it again. This time, you know, with something that is working. The diode isn't glowing in this one either, which... Wait, is it because I burned them? Could it be that I just burn all of them? 0 point energy. I'm losing it. I'm gonna... Oh! Okay. Electrical components relay. I'm gonna use relays because screw it. Just screw it. SPST, SPDT. No, this has given me PTSD. But to be fair, I need quite a lot of them, so using relays might get pretty expensive pretty fast. I do have one more thing. Hold on, let me get it from my closet of mischief and wizardry. Okay, and in my closet of mischief and wizardry, I have quite a lot of MOSFETs. I can't even put all of it in frame. There's a lot. Now these MOSFETs could, in a way, work like I want them to. The problem is, we no longer live in dark ages, and so I don't actually need to use MOSFETs for this. I thought I could do it with modules. You know what? I might just need to buy... I just want to make the PTSD joke. I'm glad we both went to the same place. I might just need to buy something better for switching them. Before this video, make a video explaining what's a MOSFET. I could do these in parallel, we'll see. We shall see. I'm exhausted. In parallel series. I don't know if that's the connection, but okay, you know what? I'm exhausted. I really am. It's been a long day for me. It's been a really long day. I might do another stream in a couple of hours when I'm a bit more rested up, because why can't I turn off the camera? Oh, that's the camera. There we go. Because well, it's almost midnight, so that will be the next stream. My lasagna is still in the oven, and because they call it hot food cold out. And as such, I suppose for now that will be it. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.